Wednesday, July 8th. You thought the nightmare on Spoon Island ended with a body bag? You thought the WSB cleaned up the mess, zipped up the casualty, and put a neat little bow on the whole tragic affair? Think again. The biggest bombshell just dropped, and if you ask me, it is going to rewrite everything we know about the last 6 months. Cassius is alive. Yes, you heard me absolutely right. General Hospital just confirmed that the fake Nathan West did not take his last breath on that island. He is breathing, his heart is beating, he is out there, and he is officially in the clutches of the most dangerous man in the room. But wait, it gets infinitely worse. WSB head Z didn't just save Cassius out of the kindness of his heart. Z is a master manipulator. He is a chess player who only sees pawns. He is building an army in the shadows, and I have a terrible feeling that Z is not just going to use Cassius as a low-level henchman or a disposable operative. Guys, this is where it gets incredibly interesting. What if Z brings Cassius back to Port Charles under a completely new identity? Think about the absolute chaos that would cause. We already know Cassius is a master of disguise and deception. He lived as Nathan West. He fooled everyone. Cassius knows everyone's deepest secrets. He knows the exact layout of the town. He knows exactly how to push Lulu's buttons, how to manipulate Nina's desperate need for family, and how to stay one step ahead of Dante's police instincts. If Cassius returns wearing a new mask, pulling the strings for Z, the fallout will be apocalyptic. When the truth finally comes to light, every single old secret is going to be flipped upside down. And the people who thought they were safe are going to realize they have been sleeping with the enemy all over again. And that changes everything. Because while Z is playing God with dead men and manipulating the WSB from the top down, the real collateral damage is happening right in the sterile, cold corridors of General Hospital. Here is where things get incredibly messy. Carly is standing at the edge of a cliff, and she is about to take a massive, devastating fall. We are talking about a mother who has already buried a child. Carly is looking at Jocelyn in that hospital bed, seeing the bandages, seeing the gunshot wound, listening to the steady beep of the heart monitor, and all she can see is Morgan. The trauma of losing Morgan Corinthos is flooding back like a tidal wave, and Carly is absolutely terrified. She is crying, she is begging, she is pleading with Jocelyn to walk away from the WSB. She is literally on her knees, emotionally speaking, asking her daughter not to throw her life away for a badge and a gun. Carly cannot survive burying another child. But that's not even the biggest surprise. Jocelyn does not care. She is not softening. If anything, Jocelyn is doubling down on her dangerous choices. I am telling you, Jocelyn is looking at her mother with absolute ice in her veins. She wants to be a spy. She craves the danger, the adrenaline, the power. She is determined to prove she can run with the big dogs, even if it means tearing her relationship with Carly to shreds. The distance between them is growing by the second, and it is painful to watch. Carly realizes she is losing her daughter not to a bullet, but to Z's psychological manipulation. And then everything spirals completely out of control. Carly loses her mind. She turns around and sees Z standing there in the hospital room, looking smug, looking like he owns Jocelyn's soul and is proud of it. Carly snaps. She hauls off and slaps Z right across the face. A massive, echoing slap that stops the entire room dead in its tracks. But here is the kicker. Jocelyn sees it. Jocelyn witnesses her mother physically assaulting her new boss, the man who holds her entire future and career in his hands. Jocelyn goes ballistic. She turns on Carly, fiercely defending Z and ordering her mother out. But, guys, if you ask me, Carly just signed her own death warrant. Z is not a man you cross. He is not a man you humiliate in public and walk away from. Z might smile, he might take the hit and act professional, but inside, he is furious. I have a strong feeling Z is going to retaliate, and when he punishes Carly, he is going to make sure it hurts her where she is most vulnerable. He will use Jocelyn as the weapon to destroy Carly's sanity. What happened next may be even worse. Let's shift gears to the other side of town, where the dominoes are falling fast and hard. Valentine Cassadine is in full panic mode. He knows his time is running out. The walls are closing in. Instead of focusing on his impending war with Lulu, Valentine is desperately trying to get to Charlotte. He wants a private moment with his daughter before his entire world goes up in flames. He knows the truth is coming out. He wants to spin the narrative before the ugly truth about his lies, his months of hiding in Carly's attic, and his involvement with Ross Cullum is broadcasted to the world. He needs Charlotte to hear his side of the story first. But Lulu is standing in his way like an impenetrable brick wall. Lulu is absolutely furious. She is not just going to block Valentine from seeing Charlotte. She is going on a massive offensive. Lulu is disgusted. She feels violated by the fake Nathan revelation, and she wants blood. But guys, this is where it gets incredibly dangerous. I don't think Lulu is just yelling and screaming for the sake of drama. If you ask me, she is quietly, methodically gathering evidence. She is building a rock-solid case. And she is not just going after Valentine. Oh no. Lulu is aiming straight for Carly Spencer. She wants to drag Carly into this massive scandal and burn her to the ground. She wants the whole town, the police, and the WSB to know that Carly harbored a wanted fugitive, lied to everyone's faces, and facilitated Valentine's twisted games. Lulu is about to turn this family feud into a public execution, and nobody in Carly's orbit is safe from the blast radius. Here is where the chain reaction gets even deadlier. While Lulu is hunting for evidence to destroy Carly, Danny Morgan is making a move that could destroy his own family. Danny goes to Turning Woods. He sits down with Jack Brennan, and he spills the biggest, most dangerous secret in Port Charles. Danny looks Brennan in the eye and tells him that Rocco Falconeri is the one who actually shot Ross Cullum. He hands Brennan a loaded gun, metaphorically speaking. Danny thinks he is helping. He thinks Brennan will use his immense power and connections to clear Jason Morgan's name and save Rocco from going to prison. He thinks Brennan is the savior. But wait, Brennan is a shark. He is a calculated, cold-blooded survivor. I do not believe for 1 second that Brennan is going to let this truth go public easily. Why would he? Knowledge is absolute power in his world. By holding on to the secret that Rocco pulled the trigger, Brennan essentially owns Dante, Lulu, and the entire Falconeri family. He can use this to manipulate the PCPD whenever he wants. He can use this to protect his own criminal empire. I think Brennan is going to bury the truth, actively covering up Rocco's crime to keep his own leverage intact. But this decision is going to backfire spectacularly. By hiding the shooter's identity, Brennan is tying himself directly to a massive WSB cover-up, and the consequences down the line are going to be catastrophic for everyone involved. Let's pivot again, because the drama is not stopping there. Not even close. Michael Corinthos is sitting in his mansion rethinking his entire game plan. Originally, Michael was dead set on destroying Harrison Chase and Brooklyn's marriage. He wanted to sabotage them, to tear them apart piece by piece. But now, Michael is shifting gears. I think he realizes he has bigger fish to fry, and he still has unplayed cards in his hand. Instead of wasting his energy on Chase, Michael is turning his crosshairs toward Willow Kane. He is watching her squirm under the pressure of the hit-and-run investigation, and he might just decide that she is the one who needs to be taken down a peg. Michael is calculating his next move, and Willow is sitting right in the center of his target. And speaking of Willow, her life is turning into an absolute, inescapable nightmare. The hit-and-run accusations regarding Jordan Ashford are piling up, the fake GPS evidence is damning, and she is drowning in legal trouble. But here is the crazy part. Chase is rushing to her defense. Chase is looking at the evidence, looking at the tampered GPS logs provided by Brick, and he absolutely refuses to believe Willow did it. He is playing the hero. But who does Chase suspect? Michael. Chase thinks Michael Corinthos is the one framing Willow as some sort of twisted revenge. He is completely, utterly blind to the fact that his own wife, Brooklyn, is the mastermind behind the fake evidence. Brooklyn is sweating bullets, watching her husband defend the woman she framed, knowing that if Chase digs too deep, their marriage is completely over. Guys, if you ask me, this whole hit and run drama is a massive misdirection. Yes, Brooklyn planted the evidence. Yes, Chase is chasing the wrong ghost. But I am starting to think the real puppet master hasn't even shown their face yet. Michael might just be a pawn in a much larger game. Someone else is pulling the strings, watching the Quartermains and the Corinthos families tear each other apart over a car accident, while the real threat operates in the shadows. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife, and Willow is the one taking all the hits. And Tracy Quartermain? She is certainly not helping Willow's fragile sanity. Tracy is going straight for the jugular. She corners Willow during a massive confrontation and drops the ultimate, unforgivable trigger word, Nell Benson. Tracy coldly compares Willow to Nell, pushing every single psychological button Willow has. I feel like Tracy isn't just insulting her, she is actively testing her. Tracy wants to see if Willow will crack under the intense pressure. She wants to see if Willow has that same crazy, dark, unpredictable edge that Nell had. And if Willow loses her temper, if she snaps and screams in Tracy's face, it is only going to prove Tracy right and make the cops even more suspicious of her erratic behavior. Willow is standing on a landmine, and Tracy is stomping on it. Let's talk about the implications of Z's overarching conspiracy. If Z is pulling Cassius's strings, who else is on his payroll? We know Z is impressed by Jocelyn, but what if he is grooming her for a darker purpose? What if Jocelyn's secret deal to free Jason and Valentine was exactly what Z wanted all along, making her complicit in his corrupt empire? Jocelyn thinks she outsmarted the system, but she might have just handed Z the keys to Port Charles. And with Jason gaining a new perspective and potentially leaving Sonny's mob organization, the power vacuum in this town is going to be massive. Z could be positioning Cassius to step into that vacuum, manipulating the local underworld while holding the WSB's leash. This isn't just about revenge anymore. This is about total control. Meanwhile, amidst all this darkness, we have a tiny glimmer of light that is about to be swallowed whole. Emma Scorpio Drake finds Giovanni at the pool and gives him the good news. Anna Devane is finally coming home. It sounds like a happy ending, right? A sweet reunion after months of trauma and clinical recovery. But do not be fooled for a second. I do not think Anna's return is going to be simple or peaceful. Anna is walking straight into a live war zone. With Cassius secretly alive and working for Z, Valentine's lies imploding in spectacular fashion, and Brennan playing God with WSB secrets, Anna is going to be dragged right into the dead center of the storm. Add in her dangerous hallucinations of Peter August leading her astray, and Anna is a ticking time bomb. All these storylines, the WSB corruption, the hit and run framing, the fake deaths, the hidden fugitives, they are all starting to connect into one massive web. We are looking at a powder keg, guys. The show wants us to focus on the petty arguments and misunderstandings between Michael, Willow, and Chase. They want us distracted by the hit and run. But if you look closely, the real existential danger is brewing underneath the surface. Cassius is out there, waiting for his orders. Valentine is cornered and desperate. And Z is orchestrating a master plan that is going to leave Port Charles in absolute ruins. A massive secret is about to explode. A new deadly alliance is forming in the shadows. And someone we love is about to walk right into a trap they cannot possibly escape. The board is set. The pieces are moving. And the next episode is going to blow the roof off this town.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.